Well, hello, everybody. What's up? I'm Jay with Guilty of Crime, and we're back, guys. You guys might have to ignore the dogs and the pounding roof and whatever else you hear today, okay? Because we're going to get through some pretty breaking news. But first, come on in, guys. Hit that like button. Let me dust my shirt off here. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, get a membership if you can. Now, remember, we're uh, covering this case from yesterday, and well, there was some breaking news, and we now know who the suspect is that they're naming, and lots of other details about this case of the cruise ship death of Anna Kepner. What, who, when, how, why, and what is the family doing about this? It's tearing the family apart because right now the family is completely implicated. And we talked about this yesterday, y'all, about the it being a stepbrother and sexually motivated, etc. Well, guess what, guys? That's what experts are also saying. So we're gonna get into that. Come on in. I see some of y'all in chat. Hello. I want to say big hugs and prayers to Angie. I see what happened there. It says your house got burnt down. What a week. Girl, I know how it is for things like that to happen and to lose your stuff. So prayers for you. Please keep your head up. Last year, my roof fell into my house, into my room, and we lost all of our stuff in most of the house. So not only do we lose access to our house, but all of our stuff got taken away, disposed of. All right. So I do understand what happened. I want to give you a big hug and prayer because, you're okay. And I hope your family is. Losing stuff can be replaced. I can attest to that. We've been replacing things for the last 2 years and we're almost done with the final stages of the roof. So I understand and just be grateful that your health and your family and hopefully everybody is okay. I'm glad that you're out, your family's out, and that's the biggest thing. I know when things like this happen, it doesn't feel good, but you'll get back your stuff and hopefully the insurance company helps you along the way. It does take a while, so be patient with them and we'll say a lot of prayers for you, all right? Cuz again, I know how it is. Good to see you, Kelly. Mom, love you. Carrie, glad you made it. You're very blessed, Angie. Very blessed. We are too. I know in the time of that happening, it doesn't feel that way, but I assure you, things will get better. And our health and our family are really what matters in this situation. So, prayers to you, and the guilty of crime families here. All right, and well, Anna Kepner, 18 years old, died on a cruise with her family, and her family's now tied into this. All right, this is crazy. This is crazy. This case is just getting more wild by the day. What happened to Anna Kepner while on a Carnival Horizon ship? Well, we don't know exactly what happened just yet. We do know that there has to be foul play when a body is wrapped up under blankets and things from the boat, right? We've got life jackets and sheets rolled under and stuffed under a bed. Now that calls for foul play. You can't take your own life and then wrap yourself up. But the kicker in this case is the charges that the family is facing. Now, the mom doesn't want to implicate herself in this, and she knows what happened because apparently her son talked. All right. So we're not going to get into like everything. We'll try to discuss it as we go, but it gets messy, guys. Let me show you here. First of all, this is our suspect, 16-year-old Timothy Hudson. He's part of the family and he is a step brother. All right. So I'm going to remove that for a minute and put the chart back up so you can see the craziness of what's going on in this case. All right. Now let me take a look. I'm not sure, Foxy, who you're talking to about missing messages, but let me know. I don't see any text messages or anything like that. So if y'all are talking to me, let me know. Good to see you, ATS, Lori Miner, Clark. Big hug to you. Love you, my friend. Listen, guys, this case, we got to be grateful for what we have when we see a family broken up by this. And It was internally. All right. Now, the reason I'm putting a family chart up is because it gets deep. It gets deep. These people went on vacation together, and the girl in the middle, Anna Kepner, did not come back. That's her dad, Christopher. That's her mom, Heather Wright. And then we got Alex and Cody Kepner. She's got it on both sides. It says brothers, although I'm not sure what the brothers mean when there's a woman and a man. Maybe Tiff can explain that. We've got Tabitha Kepner, which is the stepmom, and Chantel Kepner, there's another stepmom married to Chris presently. All right. So it looks like Tabitha is a stepmom married to Chris from 2011 to 2023. And the present marriage is Chantel. All right. So there's a lot going on in these family dynamics. Stepbrother's the number one suspect. So if we need to get back to you, with the information, we'll get back to you. Tiff is in chat there. She knows more of the family dynamics, but I do know what I can tell you is that the stepmom, Chantel Hudson, has agreed to not incriminate herself and is protecting her minor child by not testifying in a hearing that was supposed to come up with her former husband that was originally scheduled for December 17th, 2025, and will potentially be continued. All right. So there was a case coming up. I'll show you the documents. She doesn't want to talk because, well, she can implicate herself on what she knows about the suspect, who is her son. So there's a lot of family crazy dynamics in here. I might have slipped up and said a different name yesterday because it was wild, but I do want to tell you Tabitha Kepner is the stepmom. You can see her on there. Heather Wright is the biological mom. The dad didn't let her see her daughter, Anna, very often. Supposedly, she got really hooked on drugs and was not too close in the picture. Now, Anna was with her grandparents quite a bit, as you'll see in some of the pictures. So, these family dynamics get wild. She's got siblings Andrew and Tim and Alex and Connor and Cody and Kylie and Brooke. All right. So, I mean, it's just, there's so many components to this family dynamics fighting. Now, her remembrance of life is coming up tomorrow. And remember, nobody better talk. If anybody talks, they're not going to be able to go to that funeral, and they don't want to miss that. So, Lori Miner, thank you so much. Says, let's get it started. $2 towards our goal. All right, y'all are going to probably ask about the bio mom and the dynamics, and that's why we have that there, because it gets wild. This reminds me of the Lori Vallow case where you need to have a freaking pie chart to know what percentage of what is who and where and who had sex with who and who did this and who did. That's not my business. What I want to know is who did this and what part did they play and who knows what. All right. So maybe it'll unfold a bit more as we go. But right now, thank you, Sherlock Homegirl, which is one of my favorite names on this internet. Sherlock Homegirl. That's quite catchy. I love it. Thank you towards the goal. All right, Millie, good to see you, my friend. Big hugs, big kisses. 420 membership coming up, more giveaways. Dale did claim that guilty of crime shirt yesterday. I was almost about to give it back out today when I went and shipped the Madeline Soto shirt. And boom, Dale pops up and gives me her address. So I'll ship it out this week, guys. But we cannot sell Madeline Soto shirts or make them anymore. So that was the last Madeline Soto shirt that's ever going to be in existence from Guilty of Crime. All right. That was the big deal on why people wanted to win it. Now, my mom has a shirt, but I don't think you're going to be able to talk her out of that. Right, Mom? Right. What's up, Miss Gloria? Good to see you, my friend. I see a big tattoo down there on you. What's that tattoo you got on your neck, my friend? All right, guys, let's get into this. This is what we're talking about today is this victim, Anna Kepner, while on the Carnival Horizon, didn't come back. This is part 2 from yesterday. And suspect Timothy Hudson, 16 years old, on the cruise with her, allegedly is going to be getting charges for the murder of his stepsister, Anna Kepner. All right. 16 years old, guys. 16 years old. Happy hump day. All right. Again, trigger warning. Why can't you sell them anymore? I could never sell them. We never sold a Madeline Soto shirt ever. We made the Madeline Soto shirts, and it's against the law to sell shirts with victims. We weren't trying to sell them. We were trying to get them into the community. So all of them that we ever made, we gave them out. The only two that are left came from the bench memorial that I purchased, and I'm not going to wear a bunch of Matty Soto shirts, so I gave them out. All right, it's a Halloween. Okay. All right, thank you. It looks cool. Anyway, nice picture. All right, everyone's talking about this as they should be. All right, as they should be. So why don't we jump into this face first with this article so you guys can see, wow, this is getting wild. I wasn't going to do a part 2 today just yet, but it came hard and it came fast. Stepbrother Timothy Hudson facing murder charges in the death of Anna Kepner, his stepsister. Now, this was published 22 hours ago, guys. This is him, Timothy, 16 years old now. And we believe that there was a sexual attraction and some aggression and some fight that happened. People, now witnesses, are saying they heard these two fighting before Anna's death. That's wild. It's horrific because you should never be afraid of your immediate family members that you're on vacation with, especially not a little boy. All right? Not a little boy. So, what's up, M to the J Dog? I like saying that. Maybe I'll say it again next time you pop in. All right, listen, guys. Listen up. Newly filed court records and statements from the family members are shedding light on the ongoing federal investigation in the death of 18-year-old Anna Kepner, who was found deceased aboard the Carnival Horizon cruise ship earlier this month. According to the documents, one of Anna's step siblings, identified by family members as 16-year-old Tim Hudson, may soon face criminal charges relating to the death of her. All right. Now, that's her. Beautiful, beautiful Anna Kepner. May she rest in peace. And I got to say, I'm quite comfortable with working in the Florida systems. This is coming from WESH 2. Now, Madeline Soto, I worked heavily with WESH 2 and other media people in the Madeline Soto. Okay, so I love being back in these Florida cases. Love it, love it, love it. I feel so comfortable working in the Florida cases with Wesh News and all these other people because I've been doing it for a long time in the Madeline Soto case. So bless Florida and the crimes that are there. All right, they were family members. That was her stepbrother. 16 years old, but he looks like a little boy. She was 18. Anna's very lovely. To me, I'm 46 years old. A 16-year-old is a little boy to me. If you're 30, you're a little boy to me. Just saying. I'm just saying. That's where I am. All right, listen. All right, let me continue. All right, so this case escalated after a widely circulated post made by a man identifying himself as Anna's uncle, Martin Donahue. Now, I read that to you yesterday. He deleted his post now, but let me tell you what it said, and let me tell you the gravity that this post has had on the case. All right, it holds a lot of weight. This was not just a rumor. It is, in fact, true, and FBI is looking into it. Thank you so much, Chris QT, for the 99-cent super sticker. I don't know if they went to the same school. Maybe Tiffany knows. Maybe Tiff knows. All right. Sorry, Tiffany. Your name's Tiffany. Sometimes I call you that. It's Tiff, whatever. Tiff, maybe you'll let her know. You know more of the family dynamics than I do. All right. I think it was a sexually motivated opportunity. I think they got into a fight. There was some sexual motivation or tension, and we're going to talk about that further. All right. I love catching you live. Hello, Truths. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Yeah, geeky looking kid. I thought he was like 12 when I saw the picture. He's 16. He looks like he's 11 or 12, guys. All right. To me, again, I'm 46 years old. So what do I know? All right. Good to see all you. Let's keep going. Listen, this is the breakthrough message that we thought was probably just a rumor. He claims that Anna was beaten, wrapped in a sheet, and placed under a bed naked, partially covered with life jackets, and the stepbrother slept in the bed above her afterward. So he claims that little Timothy beat Anna, took her clothes off, wrapped her in sheets and life jackets, stuffed her under the bed, and then went to sleep on top of her right after. Now, Martin Donahue, like I said, he deleted his post now, but here it is. Martin Donahue says, I need everyone's help on this. If you haven't heard this story, then you've been living under a rock. This is my niece, Anna Kepner. She was 18 years old and was on a cruise with her dad, stepmom, and other family members. I cannot stay silent about this matter any longer. The stepmom son killed her, stuffed her naked, beaten body in a sheet, and then stuffed her under a bed and covered her with life jackets. Then slept on that bed like nothing happened. He told his stepmom when no one could find Anna on the ship. So they know who did this, and it sickens me that the father, Chris, remains silent about it. Please pass this on. Maybe it gets to someone that could do something about it. If nothing's done, it will all come out on the 20th. That's tomorrow. At least that's what the stepmom has said after treating family. If they talk before, they will be abandoned for the remembrance of life for Anna. Tomorrow, guys. Please pass this so my family can get closure and the people who did this and lied and staled to tell the rest of us what happened when it did. Now you just look all guilty of a cover up. All right, which I agree with. And not only that, guys, we are going to hear about all that now. So FBI got a hold of this, caught wind, and now we're filing charges. Now, he further accused Anna's stepmother and father of remaining silent, and now we know that they did. At this time, none of the allegations were made publicly by family members, but this was just 2 days ago that he put this out. A sworn legal filing submitted by attorneys for Anna's stepmother, Chantel Hudson, confirms that the FBI is conducting a criminal probe into the teen's death. All right, I'm going to show you some of that paperwork, etc. The motion states the investigation is being conducted by FBI arising out of the sudden death of 18-year-old Anna Kepner. Hudson is requesting exemption from testifying in an ongoing family court matter, arguing that doing so could be self incriminating and potentially harmful to her minor due to the active federal inquiry. According to the filing, a criminal case may be initiated against, now we know, Timothy, the minor children, on this action. Multiple sources, including Space Coast Rocket and national media outlets, have confirmed that investigations are evaluating whether potential charges could be filed against one of Anna's step siblings, which we now know as Timothy. According to the family accounts reviewed alongside the filing, Anna, her father, stepmother, stepbrother Tim, and biological brother Connor shared a cruise cabin. Now, I'm told that it was a little bit different, but I'm not going to change that yet because I don't know. All right. Key details: November 6th, during a family dinner, Anna began feeling ill and she returned to her cabin. After dinner, Tim and Connor returned to the room to change into swimwear. Connor allegedly left first, leaving Tim alone with Anna, right? The suspect and the victim. The following morning at approximately 11 a.m., a cabin attendant discovered Anna's body concealed under the bed. These events have not yet been confirmed by investigators. However, they appear consistent with the family claims. When Horizon returned to the port Miami, FBI agents boarded the vessel and seized evidence. Anna's remains were transported to Miami-Dade Medical Examiner's office. No cause of death or manner has been released yet. Authorities haven't confirmed whether her death is being treated as a homicide. Well, now we think it is. A suspect has been identified, Tim, and physical evidence supports the allegation being circulated online. Despite the growing public attention, federals have not disclosed investigative findings or citing the ongoing nature of the case. Anna's stepfather, Christopher Kepner, previously stated to the FBI that the FBI interviewed every family member on board, including both minor children and the step siblings. He said the FBI had not shared anything with me yet. I know as little as everyone else. We are just trying to sit and wait for answers. All right. So again, this gets crazy. Anna's biological mother, Tabitha, also posted a public message expressing profound heartbreak. She claimed she was not immediately informed of her daughter's death and demanded answers. Again, she was kept away from her for quite a bit. All right. Anna's grandma also made a public statement saying she was murdered. This is why the FBI was there. Again, these statements remained unverified by authorities. Important unresolved points. Let me double check that y'all are still with me. Thank you so much for the Guilty of Crime membership. I hope you guys enjoy the cases that I present and the way that I present them. Thank you guys for going towards our goal. Always appreciate it. I hope you guys know that. All right. Yeah, this is crazy. I'm glad it's starting to make sense to you guys because I'm really trying to make it make sense. All right. Now, unresolved points why the federal agents allowed family members to disembark without restrictions, whether forensic evidence supports allegations, why one stepbrother, reportedly Tim, has not been seen at the family residence since returning from the cruise. Another step sibling, Andrew, was confirmed not to have been on the cruise at the time. What happens next? A sworn filing indicating a minor family member may face charges, verified confirmation of active federal investigation, public accusations by multiple relatives, and the medical examiner's findings still pending. The case surrounding the death is developing rapidly, and we don't know anything else. No arrests have been made, but Timothy has been identified as a suspect, and that's what we're going to get into right now. So let's just get to it, guys. How y'all doing? Good to see you. I hope this is making more sense. Yesterday we were definitely just starting to dig in. All right. Part 2.
It surrounds the mysterious death of a Brevard County high school senior on a Carnival cruise ship. New court documents show a step sibling of 18-year-old Anna Kepner is now considered a suspect in her death.
The FBI is leading this investigation, but hasn't said what happened. West 2 investigative reporter Justin Checker just read through the new court filings. He's live across from Temple Christian School in Titusville, where Kepner went to school. Justin?
I'm like, what happened? All right, listen
Good
up.
afternoon. Yeah, the FBI has been tight-lipped about its investigation into the death of this beloved student and cheerleader at this Titusville school. But we've learned the ex-husband of Anna Kepner's stepmother filed an emergency motion asking the court to address the placement of their 16-year-old child, now considered a suspect in Anna's death, according to these court documents. The filing from the ex-husband's attorney says the mother took their 2 minor children on the cruise with Anna Kepner. It goes on to say the 16-year-old child is now a suspect in the death of the stepchild during the cruise. We've also learned in the response from the mother's attorney that the father is believed to have hired counsel for the 16-year-old. These documents also reveal that the parents signed an agreement on Tuesday for the 16-year-old to live with a relative of the mother. Her attorney says that was to ensure the safety of their youngest child and the remaining child of Anna's father. The attorney for the father writes, the 16-year-old's future has been put in jeopardy because of the choices of his mother. Her attorney writes in the response, quote, it is true that there is an open investigation regarding the death of the biological daughter of the stepfather, and TH is a suspect regarding this death, which occurred recently on a cruise ship. She goes on to write, however, there are no allegations that the mother abused, neglected, or abandoned either of the minor children, or that she failed to protect the minor children.
Now, listen, the mom probably at some point might get a charge. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to show you the documents real quick and then go back to the family just so you can see what they look like, the dynamics. And then I'm going to continue on with what I think. Carrie says, guilty of crime. I did learn that Anna was wearing an Apple Watch, which records when the heart stops. That's how they knew the time of death. Well, thank you. We had talked about that yesterday, and someone mentioned that probably was the case. And yes, it seems so because 11:17 in the morning is very specific. All right. Good to see you, Cat H. Come on in, chill out, relax. We're going to be here for a little while anyway.
West 2 has reached out to the FBI to confirm that this 16-year-old step sibling is a suspect. However, NBC News is reporting the FBI is not commenting at this time. Meanwhile, the medical examiner in South Florida has not revealed a cause or the manner of Anna Kepner's death. Tomorrow, family and friends will gather for her funeral. Covering Brevard County live in Titusville, I'm Justin Shecker, West 2 News.
You know what it makes me wonder, you guys? It makes me wonder if they're waiting for the funeral to proceed before the family gets totally ripped apart, because this is just, it just doesn't, it seems the way that they're dragging their feet and how tomorrow is named as a celebration of life. They haven't moved on anything. The kid is in someone else's custody or in their care of another family member. to protect them. So I wonder if after the funeral, somebody or another is going to be arrested. All right. Now remember, there's the family. Anna's at the top. You can see her dad, her biological mom, her stepmom number one, and then stepmom number two. That's why many people were saying yesterday that Anna has three moms. People were saying that. And I was like, I don't know. But now that we have a map of those people, I do think that they did say that though, Wolfie. They said 1117 was the declaration of death. Okay, well, the declaration of death, not the time of death. Okay. All right. Well, that means something different. I took it as time of death, 1117. So when I get to that again, I'll look. My girlfriend's watch called 911 when we were in a car accident, and I hope it helped. All right. 1117 is the time they got her to the maid. Okay, well, yesterday it said 1117 for the time of death, I thought, but we'll go back to that. If 1117 is when the maid found her or whatever, what have you, we'll clear that up. All right. So I appreciate it. Yeah, what a mess, right? Definitely a mess. They have it wrong anyway. They had the dates completely wrong and mixed up in yesterday's episode and the way they documented it. All right. My daughter's 25. That's scary. Hope your healing journey is good. What's up, Casey? Good to see you. Come on in, chill, relax, hit that like button. Indy Isham, Abby Poodle, how you doing? MM, always a pleasure to see you. All right, now according to what's new in this case is the filing submitted by attorneys for Chantel Hudson that you can see on the screen. That was an emergency motion submitted in a divorce involving the Kepner stepmother, Chantel. All right, that's a motion we talked about, which seeks to reschedule a hearing due to her not wanting to implicate herself in a criminal case that may be initiated by FBI against Timothy. All right, the motion reveals the investigators are focusing on a minor child, Timothy, in the family. It states that Hudson has been told through discussions with FBI and the legal team that a criminal case may be initiated against one of the minor children, and it wouldn't be in her best interest to go and talk. They're now reviewing the investigators, you guys, what we talked about yesterday. They're reviewing the surveillance video from the ship, analyzing electronic swipe card data that might show who entered the teen's room cabin uh, and any other records, the cell phone records, digital records, the family's records. All right. Anna Kepner's stepbrother may face the charges. As you can see, that is our suspect right there. Again, to me, he looks like he's 12. So it's really weird how young he looks. There are so many cameras and so many of the key card swipes. That's why they do that. When you go to a hotel, and what have you, they know when you come in, they know when you go out, they know where you go, the front door, the back door, the side door, the gym, what have you. They keep track. I really hope they kept good track of what happened there that night. All right. I'm just going to quickly show you the documents and then we'll talk about it. And then we'll start talking about what we think happened and have some have some discussions about it. I put something on that was really loud. All right. Good to see you guys. I think it was actually absolutely a sexually motivated case. They were fighting previously. You're going to hear about it. Harry says, I'm pretty sure 1117 is when the watch showed no heartbeat. Then being declared at the time of death, in my opinion, 1117 is safe to say because that's factual when her heart's up. Correct. And that's what it said yesterday. I knew that they got some things mixed up. So we'll get that straight. 1117 is a big number in the case, and I'll make sure to find out what that exactly comes from. All right. When the heart stopped. Yeah, that is after, but that's after the time she found her. But she wasn't found right after she was dead, though, Foxy or Tiffany or anybody. She was not found right after her death. All right. She died, was covered, and then they all slept and went to breakfast, and then she was found. So 1117 doesn't really matter, or 11 when they found her doesn't matter because she didn't die that morning when the maid found her. All right. It mentioned the maid found her at 11 a.m., but she had already been dead previously. She didn't die minutes before or minutes after. she was already dead, supposedly, and then the brother went to sleep. All right. So big difference, guys. We'll get into that. All right. I know everyone wants to know it all, and so do I. Mary Beth, I just shipped out your Madeline Soto. Sure, you should have that by you're saying the same thing, Tiff. Carrie and Tiff and Foxy, y'all are saying the same thing. All right. But thank you. Thank you for clearing that up. All right. No, it said AM, Anna. We'll get back into that. All right. Either way, 11:17. Um, they have a lot of details wrong in the document, so I'll let you guys uh chat amongst yourselves about that. I'm gonna stay out of that conversation, but I am going to put this up. I'm gonna put the PDF up of that. Yeah, you guys can work out your times and so forth. I was trying to join. It's not letting me. Is there a problem on your end? No, there's no problem on my end. Maybe the mods can drop a link for you to join the Guilty of Crime crew. All right. Blue Drop says, I work with the hospice. A family can call and say someone died, but the time of death is when I get the house and pronounce. Well, thank you, Blue Drop. Thank you for establishing that. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. We know your name, Tiff. We know your name. All right. Sometimes I have to just say Tiffany because that's what comes out of my mouth. All right. So, Tiffany, you just said your name Tiffany earlier, girl. Don't even. I could read the text message where it says, I'm Tiffany to who I'm working with. So it is Tiffany. Get out of here. Get out of here. Next. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are too much in chat right now. Right, let me pull up those documents real quick. I want to show you the documents. Thanks to Plunder, brought them out. I already read a lot of them, but Plunder put these out. She put them out. She put the Hudson's marriage record, the license, and the filed documents of the county of 18th Judicial Court, Brevard County, Michelle Johnson versus Chantel Hudson. Order of motion to dismiss pursuant to rule. The cause coming on reviewed court's notice intent to dismiss for lack of service of process pursuant. These are the documents that we're talking about and will continue. It's ordered and judged right above. Those are all the things we're talking about. Signed, sealed, delivered, and in Florida. Again, it doesn't say much here, but it's the documents we're talking about. And then she put up the marriage record. So if anyone did watch Plunder, she was putting those documents out. And that's what compelled me even more to make sure we put this up. All right. You can call me by my name, Tiff. You don't even really know my name. So go for it. You don't even know my name. You don't even know how to spell my name, girl. Get out of here. I know on Apple Watch, I wore my Apple Watch, but it kept on needing to get a new one. I had to keep getting a damn new watch every time it would get an update, and then I need an Apple 2, Apple 3, and then I gave up on the Apple Watches. When my roof fell in, I lost all of my stuff. I lost my computers, my electronics, my watches, my iPads, my computers, everything that was in that room, guys, gone. Gone, gone, gone. All right. Now, if you look at this, Chris Cutie, those are the relations right now. That is the current wife right there. Christopher Kepner is currently married to Chantel Kepner with the glasses in the middle. All right. The girl in the middle is who he's married to. All right. Let's keep going. Synth, I love you, girl. I love you. All right. What's up, Nettie? Good to see you, my friend. Mary Beth, I knew you would be. Yeah, I don't know why she dug into people's marriages like that, Abby, but whatever. I'll say thanks for those documents. Whatever. Again, I put this down. She put those up, and you can see these are the documents for his little divorces, etc. All right, Tiffany. I'll start calling you Tiffany, and I'll start calling you your last name too if you don't stop. All right. Don't start right now. All right. Let's keep going. Right. We're getting heat. I don't know if Tiff's really getting mad. I can never tell. She's got that New Jersey blood, and you can never tell if she's getting mad. All right. Yeah, that I don't know why we did that. I don't know why we did the marriage records and such. But anyway, let's continue talking about that. Let's pull that down and get to those documents explained. quickly, and I'll just say thanks for the documents, and let's keep going. All right. Yeah, you guys get a little guilty of crime drama on here while we're working, and then we'll keep going. Don't use a bunch of I'm not gonna get into it right now. We'll ask Mama Pearl how to spell my name. It's spelled right, but I wasn't exposing like a real name, and she's putting my real name out there. So even though I'm teasing you, Tiff, let's not anymore, okay? Because I don't want my real name put out there. And I was teasing you, and sometimes off the top of my tongue, Tiffany just comes out, especially since you just sent me a text that said I'm working as Tiffany. So relax, chill, we're good. Just don't put my name out there again, okay? All right, we're good. Thanks. All right, let's right? This is our YouTube drama that we're getting right now. All right, here's the documents, name teen suspect in the death, and then we're going to talk about the sexually motivated stuff that I was telling you all about.
To a 16-year-old boy aboard the Carnival Cruise's Horizon on November 9th, being the lead suspect in the death investigation of 18-year-old Anna Kepner, a high school senior from Titusville, whose death aboard a cruise ship has gained national attention.
Yes.
In a document we reviewed this afternoon, filed by the ex-husband of Chantel Hudson, who is Kepner's stepmom, he states that 2 of his 3 children were aboard the cruise ship with Kepner, and that the 16-year-old child is now a suspect in the death of Kepner during the cruise. Another document filed by the attorney of Hudson confirms the same things.
That is why they're keeping quiet, and it's hard to actually get the names and the pictures of things, guys. That's why people are like, whoa, what happened, etc. Because of that. But it's coming out fast. Allie says, Jay, I don't understand. The stepmom sent her son away, and the dad didn't send her away. Just saying, if he didn't go anything, then why send him away? Well, these families are pretty shady. I mean, when you look at the dynamic of the family, and I heard some gossip behind the scenes about the family dynamics and the drama of who her dad was married to and supposedly had an affair with their freaking babysitter that was 15. I don't even know, but that's what I heard, and it sounds like the family's pretty shady. And Mab, congratulations, guys. Mab won. Mab is the winner of Turtle Island. Please congratulate Mab. He's going to have a new WWF belt to share with us, right? Right. Mab won, guys. Mab took the title of Turtle Island. He's the king of Turtle Island. Yes, congratulations, buddy. I'm really proud of you, and I'm so glad that we got a true crime creator taking the belt. Yes, let's get that crama out of here.
Saying that a criminal case may be initiated against one of her minor children. The question remains as to how Kepner died. A former police chief for the Miami PD says investigators are likely going through the ship's surveillance cameras, looking for evidence and to help build a timeline of the possible crime.
They're going to be able to isolate the image of this young lady and run that against all their video streams to see where she was and when and with who. And so that's a lot to unpack.
NBC News has reached out to the FBI on the report. The FBI says it's not commenting about an ongoing investigation. Kepner, described in her obituary as a bright and beautiful soul, filling the world with a light that...
Now, listen, guys, when we do find out when we get the toxicology back and we get the cause of death, and if we find out that she was all bruised and battered and there was possible sexual assault, then you guys are probably going to be really pissed off. I'm already pissed off to see this beautiful 18-year-old girl that was with her family and supposed to be safe, that she's no longer with us. But once we get back and we hear maybe she might have been drugged or assaulted, it's going to be even worse. All right, Carrie, oh my gosh, best news ever. I stopped watching the day I told Jay I was over it, and I told you on the phone I hope Mab wins. Yes, you did, and I was voting for Mab all the way because we want true crime to make a comeback. I feel like true crime is not doing as well as the drama crime channels. People just throw money and eat it up. So we need to do well with that. And Mab, you're the man. Congratulations. I love it. Congratulations. And to Mrs. Mab, Big hugs. All right, this girl's gone way too soon. Anna Kepner, guys, say a prayer for her and her family, right?
Reached everyone around her.
All right. What I want to do is get into this quick discussion with the experts. Not long, but they're talking about what I suspected happened in this case. And my internet's slow. I had to restart my computer like 3 times before I came on here today. I think it's because they're working. They had to cut the power off to get the solar going, guys. So they're pounding and doing stuff on the roof. And in order to put the solar back on, well, they gotta disconnect the power and the internet. So anyway, we know that the stepbrother is probably going to face charges, but now we're gonna kind of look at this clip with Court TV.
The mysterious death of a
that discusses why it happened. All right. Yeah, this is all Florida. And not only is it just Florida, but it's WESH 2 News that we've been covering the Madeline Soto case with. I've been covering that for a long time. Indy Isham, my girl, big hugs to you. Thank you so much. Yeah, Kramit make you a song. Kramit made you a song? That's awesome. No drama tomorrow. Yes, I hope there's no drama tomorrow. I hope they don't start pulling some janky shit like Jen's a Gypsy says. All right. Oh. All right. Let's keep going. Yeah, Jen's, I love that. Janky. I forget that word until I hear Foxy or Jen's a Gypsy using it. Ignore the dogs.
high school cheerleader on a cruise ship is what's trending in true crime this morning, as her step sibling may be facing charges. 18-year-old Anna Kepner was reported dead while aboard a Carnival Horizon cruise ship earlier this month. But according to an unrelated court filing, one of her step siblings could be charged soon.
By the way, just to clear this up, y'all, Kramit is not a guy. If anyone wanted to know Kramit, it's a female. That's it. I know you said she hasn't made one yet. We were having a discussion about it. And Kramit is the frog that makes music. It's a female frog that makes music. Yeah, no janky shit allowed in chat. Unless you're going to have the guilty of crime coloring book and you're going to color in janky. All right. All right, let's keep going. We're going to talk about this possibly sexually motivated case with the experts, by the way.
Chantel Hudson, Kepner's stepmother, requested a delay in her custody hearing with her previous husband because of a, quote, extremely sensitive and severe circumstance. The filing goes on to say that Hudson, quote, has been advised through discussions with the FBI investigators and her attorneys that a criminal case may be initiated against one of the minor children of this instant action, end quote. So we know that the 18-year-old's travel party included her father, her stepmother.
Yes. Now we have a picture of that, Mab. We have a picture of the family and we have a picture of the suspect. Her step brother. This dude right here, Mab, Timothy Hudson, 16 years old, allegedly did this to his beautiful stepsister, Anna Kepner, right? That guy, the guy that looks like he's 12. It's wild. It is wild, the shit that happens nowadays. When I'm reporting on this stuff, I'm like, how is this possible?
And her step siblings. But details surrounding Anna's death still.
But you see the current wife now, guys? That's the current wife. Her name's Chantel. She was the one in the documents that was saying that she can't say any statements because she knows about whatever. All right. They're all family, and this happened within the family. Now, Anna Kepner's funeral or remembrance of life is tomorrow. So she didn't want to upset their happy family by telling what her son or stepson, whatever the kid did. All right. And that's what's holding this up. I have a sneaking suspicion there's going to be some arrests made after that funeral or remembrance of life.
Haven't been released. The FBI continues leading the investigation, but does Kepner's family know what really happened? Let's ask our investigators about that. Let's bring in private investigator with Black Ops, private investigators Manuel Gomez, and retired NYPD detective and the host of the Rob O'Donnell Show, Rob O'Donnell. Good morning to you both.
It sounded like she said Rob O'Donnell. What'd she say? Anyway.
Does the family have the answers? Rob, would you start off our conversation, please?
I think the mom does, guys. I think the reason the mom took the fifth is because she knows exactly what the hell happened. I think her son or the kid, Timothy, told right away, and they needed to cover it up. All right. I think the dad is pretty shady for going along with that when that's his daughter. I think the fact that just finding out, and it may not even be true, it may not be true that he ran off with this 15-year-old nanny in the past. It probably is, but I want to verify it before I actually say that happened. I think that anybody that does that with some young underage thing, young underage girl that's helping out the family is a sick, you know what. All right. I don't like any of that. All of this, when you hear about it and you know who Anna was, a cheerleader, a bright light, did scuba diving, going to the military. I don't see any of those things reflect on her about who her family is. And there are a lot of pieces of shit in her family.
Well, based on the stepmother's filing in this unrelated custody case, it appears so. It appears that they know more than they're letting on. It appears that the father, the biological father of this 18-year-old, seems to be pleading for more information. But obviously, in this court filing, it appears that that fingers have been pointed and questions have been asked about at least one of the step siblings here in this case. So I would say they do know, because why not just ask for a postponement because her stepdaughter was just found dead on a cruise ship? Why this extra information in this unrelated court proceeding?
Ooh, that's a good point, Rob. Thank you. Manuel, your thoughts on the family and what they may know, please.
I think that there's a lot of secrets that are unfortunately of sensitive nature in this case regarding the family and what's going on with the siblings, and they're being very covert.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty simple too, but when you're putting out a theory, Van Stout, I wish I had it solidified, but I absolutely think he put the moves on her. They got into some kind of argument. He beat the hell out of her. Whatever happened, however she died, I can't imagine there was a ton of blood everywhere or anything like that. I haven't seen anything like that, so I'm wondering if he beat her to death or if she was strangled. What happened? She wasn't feeling good before all that, and so first they tried to blame it on her taking her own life, but you can't wrap yourself up. All right, you think he slipped her anything? I possibly. That's why I want to see the toxicology report and the medical examiner, because I heard that she was beat up and then wrapped and then stuffed under the bed, but I want to know if there was assault, sexual assault, and what was in her system. She probably was drinking. I mean, they're on a booze cruise, and at 18, right? We all drank.
Word about releasing that information, but the one thing that really disturbs me about this case is the fact that they didn't look into the evidence even further down when this girl was on the ship. There's a lot of evidence out there that's still out there.
Right, Manuel. I have a statement from the Carnival Cruise Line on Anna Kepner's death. Death of the statement says, Carnival Cruise Line is fully cooperating with the Miami office of the FBI. It is up to the FBI's Miami Public Affairs Office to provide further details. Our focus is on supporting the family of our guest, end quote. So let's talk a little bit now about how Anna's body was found. So the Daily Mail and CBS News are both reporting that the 18-year-old was stuffed underneath a bed in the cabin where she was staying with her family. The Daily Mail reporting that Anna was found dead, wrapped up in a blanket. Anonymous sources telling the Daily Mail that Kepner was covered up by life jackets. Kepner's father, Christopher, made this statement soon after his teenage daughter was found dead.
And it's the weirdest thing. If you go back, if you were watching this on another channel, I didn't pick this case up until like 2 days ago. And if you start going back, you're going to see that the ruling initially was that she took her own life. They literally said that, and they didn't bring anybody else up. They didn't say maybe it was a staff or someone on the boat. They pointed their finger at her because of her social media posts about a breakup. How can you stuff yourself under a freaking bed and wrap yourself up? I know. I'm sick of them reading the same carnival letter in every video. Nothing new. Yeah, just like Ellen Greenberg. Did she stab herself in the back a bunch of times? I don't think so. Mo says, I'm so overwhelmed with all this information. Take a break.
And saying, quote, everybody was questioned. Everybody came off that ship.
That
I don't
like
know
button,
who
y'all.
they are looking at or what their investigation is. The FBI hasn't shared anything with me yet. I would imagine they're going to be in contact with me about it, but I know as little as everybody else. I have no idea what is going on right now. We're just trying to sit still and wait for answers. So it makes us wonder here at Court TV, does it sound like there was foul play here with Anna Kepner's death? Manuel Gomez, would you start us off, please, with your thoughts?
Again, if you will go back 5 days ago, they said they didn't think there was any foul play. All right, now it's changed. Yeah, can you imagine how sick that would have to be to do that and then go to sleep on that bed, and then you wake up in the morning and you say that? Exactly, Anthony France. Good to see you. It's been a while. Come on in, man. Hit that like button. I missed you. I missed my old crime crew from the Madeline Soto days. I got a lot of you guys still here, but boy, I wish I could get all of you into one room again.
Well, I have to tell you, Julian, the last court interview that I did on Court TV regarding this case, I received numerous phone calls, and I actually got a very big tip on this case. One of the cruise passengers was telling me that Anna was at the theater, and she was with this young guy, which fits the description of the stepbrother.
All right, now listen here. And they're going to get more of this, guys. They're going to have a lot more witness statements. Not only just witness statements, but they're going to have a ton of different footage and documentation from the different electronics and key codes and key fobs. And even when you go eat or whatever, you have to have this like key where they know where you are. So they're going to find out quite a lot more. And yes, Jen's a gypsy. You've been here too. I have a daughter and 2 stepsons. I never allowed them to share room. Now, people are saying different. There's speculation that they didn't share a room. All right. So different sources. I don't even want to say who. Somebody really close to the family saying that they actually didn't share a room, but that hasn't been verified yet. So I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that just yet. Either way, that's what he states happened. That kid was probably acting strange and nervous, as anyone who's not experienced psycho would, right?
Okay, and they were arguing intensely. Okay, and then the fact that her body was jammed under the bed, hidden, it tells me that the person that did this, one, was young. That this wasn't like a regular murder. I think this was a crime of passion. And I think what happened was, and I hate to say this, but it seems like possibly that the brother had physical intentions towards the sister, and it didn't plan out. She said no, and he most likely wind up doing this. That's my suspicion in this case, due to the evidence and phone calls that I received from passengers on the cruise ship after doing the Court TV episode.
Wow, that's really something, Manuel. Thank you for sharing that. Of course, if we at Court TV are able to confirm any of that independently, we certainly.
We can go back to the family dynamics in a little bit. Good to see you, Jennifer B. Did you see Mab, our winner of Turtle Islands, in the house? Did they go to the room? That's what they're saying happened. Saucy skins. They don't have the surveillance yet, but people are saying that they were together arguing, and they did go back to the room at the same time with the stepbrother. So I think it's probably going to be determined that that's what happened. But let me just put this up there real quick, and then you can see. There's Anna, the victim. There's her biological dad, Christopher, on the left. Her biological mom, Heather, right. All right. Heather is on the right. Dad, bio mom, bio dad. And then the brothers are Alex and Cody. We don't have pictures of them because they're minors, but he's currently been married to Chantel from 2024 until now. So they haven't been married longer than a little over a year. Now, Chantel's son is Tim. Now, Tabitha Kepner is another stepmom that was married from, 2011, I think. It's hard to read those little letters, but is it say 2011 or 2013 to 2023? And that was supposedly the babysitter 15-year-old babysitter, this dad, Christopher Kepner, swooped up and then divorced Heather Wright, married their nanny, and then divorced her, married Chantel. All right. So it's wild. That's why there's a picture, because it's hard to see. So it is 2011. My eyes are getting worse as I get older to see really small. No, the grandma wasn't there. The grandma was there previously. The grandma had previously taken Anna Kepner on another cruise. That's why she wanted to go back. All right. Wait, the boy with the Nirvana shirt with his arms. This is the suspect right here. That's it right there. That is Timothy. That's the suspect. All right. All right. Let's keep going. I hope I can help you guys to put the pieces together. It's a lot.
Will, but that's a theory. A theory. Certainly, Rob, I would ask you the same question. Does this sound like foul play to you, even though we don't know Anna's cause of death just yet? It hasn't been released.
Right.
Well, there's absolutely foul play in the disposal, or at least the hiding of the body. Just the way the body was found, there's obviously someone else involved here that was there either during or after the death. When I talked about this case on my show yesterday, I says, unfortunately, although the family's going through their own trauma here, they need to be ruled out, and they're going to be looked at first to be ruled out. And it appears the FBI is in that direction. Two of the theories that I came with, based on her age and out on a cruise ship, was there some sort of, and I'm looking to see the full autopsy here with the toxicology and stuff like that. Was she out hanging out with someone and maybe overdosed on drugs, and that person panicked and just hid the body and took off?
See, that's what they initially thought. They didn't think it was going to be related to the family at all, right? Tim looks angry in that pic. Thank you, Barbie G. All right, so I'm pausing it here just for a second because I ran into the statement just now. It is a mess. The family is a big jumbled mess because of the father and his divorces and all the different kids involved. All right, I'm looking at this little chart that Tiff put together with the grandma and grandpa and the stepmom and all the people. Literally, Heather Wright, the bio mom, and then Christopher Kepner's the bio dad. Now, the mom's sister, Crystal Wright, her aunt, is the one that says, I'm not portraying my sister as a saint at all. When my sister found out that her husband was cheating on her with a 15-year-old babysitter, it broke her. She hasn't been the same since. She lives in Oklahoma. Not much you can do. Anytime she goes to Florida to see Anna, Chris always needs my sister. Always need my sister out, made my sister out to be the bad guy one way or another. Anna wasn't old enough to understand the torment my sister had to deal with. She knew what her dad wanted her to know. She never got to know my sister's story. All right. There's a reason Chris is on his third wife. I don't think my sister was the problem. All right. That's a family statement. Again, it gets more and more jumbled. I may have missed it, but do we actually know how long she was missing? Yeah, it was hours. Actually, they don't, there's not even an hour. They don't know the time of her death, but when they went to breakfast that morning, she wasn't there. And then the maid found her. So I can't give you an exact, oh, sorry, my computer. I can't say she was gone for 3 hours or 4. I'm assuming she was probably killed the night before, slept, they went to breakfast, then 11 o'clock, the maid goes in there and she finds her. So I don't have exactly. Hopefully we work out those details as we find out all of that.
And wanted to distance themselves from it, or in this case, a step sibling. You have to realize in a case like this, we know now that there's.
I think it was the night before, Anthony, though. I think that something happened after they watched a movie. And so Wednesday was when they last saw her, that night after they got into a fight that we just talked about. And they did print that wrong, Creve. They said the 6th, and you're saying the 5th, and other people are saying that too. They still have it printed as that. However, I don't think she was missing for days. I think she was missing. They got into a fight that night. He took her life, stuffed her under the bed, and then in the morning they found her. So I think it was just from the night to the morning. All right. I would think the last time they saw her was when she went to bed. Exactly. I don't think they saw her going to bed. I thought she was hanging out with her brother, and then that happened. Yeah, they did. They said they found her on Thursday. It was all messed up, the timeline, but we're narrowing it down.
An ongoing custody battle with the biological father. There is a divorce play here. There's step parents, step siblings. The hierarchy of this family is being disrupted. If you look at the picture, even though they're juveniles and their faces are blurred out, you could tell they're mid to upper teens.
Right.
These two boys that are in the picture. Was there a challenge to his status in the family? Did he feel threatened by this new step family that he's now part of, and have this confrontation? I believe we're going to find out. These are not hardened criminals here, and I think, based on the statements that the stepmother's already had, more of this is going to come to fruition. And I wouldn't be surprised if any defense attorney says, based on the trauma that this child's going through.
Yeah, somebody asked about the Nirvana shirt guy. I think that's probably him. I have the picture that's not redacted on my computer, and I'm pretty sure that's him. Initially, I thought it was going to be the taller brother, but in fact, I think it is the kid that's wearing the Nirvana shirt. What's up, Pepper? Good to see you, my friend. Let me remind you guys that are coming in. We have 220 people in chat. If we can just get some more likes, it's free to do so. Also, if you guys have the means to get a membership, gift a membership, super chat, or super sticker, we still have a goal. All right. Right away, and you're a bad guy. Walter says you kill one girl and stuff her under a bed. Right away, you're a bad guy. I'll just leave it at that.
Based on a divorce and this new step family, something happened there mentally that he had a breakdown, and I guess we'll see as we move forward here.
Yeah, all good points, Rob. Thanks. Manuel, if you could interview anybody in this family, who would be the first person you would want to talk to?
Good question.
The first person would be the oldest stepson. Again, like I said, he was the one that I've been giving indications about having problems with the sister on the boat. He'd be the first one I lean on. The second one would be the younger one. And again, those hallway camera footage, I would definitely zoom in on that. I know they can't tell you about when she opened the door or not, but then the third thing I would look into is, what was the condition of her body? Yes, granted, Julie, she was wrapped up in a blanket, jammed up underneath the bed. That's like my colleague said, it's foul play. I said it from the beginning, this is a homicide, okay? And then it's shoved under with a life vest. But the bottom line is, was she clothed or unclothed? And I have a funny feeling that girl was unclothed. I have a funny feeling that brother did something.
And Manuel, I appreciate the theory. Look, you and Rob, you guys have seen everything. And both of you served with the NYPD, too. There's another, a thing you both have in common. Again, a theory. We have not independently confirmed anything relating to the stepbrother, but it's certainly a possibility. And we'll keep following this case and report any information, especially.
Again, this came before, and then now they are talking about the one stepbrother, Tim. All right. We do think that she wasn't dressed at all. All right. This guy did allegedly tell his mom what he did. And the rumor is from the uncle that she was naked, beaten, and stuffed under a bed. All right. And that is Timothy Hudson, 16 years old. Now, is he going to be tried as an adult? I mean, that's up to a judge to decide. I don't know what his previous problems were, etc. But if you look at this chart here, guys, these families were not put together for that long. If Chantel was married to Chris in 2024 until now, that means all of these people just were cohabitating together for a year, maybe, possibly. Maybe they didn't move in right away. So, yeah, that's not that long to have a family that you just put together. I don't know what happened because he's a minor. They're not talking much about it, and you don't get their records, right? They're good questions though. The stepbrother's phone, text to his friends, maybe he had a crush on the stepsister. All right, let's keep going. I got some more. I want to look at the FBI probing on the stepchild or stepbrother, whatever. Bowie's loud today. All right, let me put this one up. I can't even stop them from barking either. So they're saying hi to you. All right. All right, and I hear Reese yelling. All right. So I showed you this yesterday. I had not seen this on here, but you can see here them taking her from the ship to the medical examiner. No, I'm not even going to try that. All right, FBI probing step sibling in cruise ship's death of teenager. Sources say step sibling of 18-year-old Anna Kepner is being arrested for possible involvement on the Florida teen's death. Earlier this month, law enforcement sources say one law enforcement source said the two may have had some kind of altercation, meaning Anna and Tim. Kepner was on a family vacation in the Caribbean with their father, stepmother, and 3 step siblings when she was discovered dead on the Carnival Horizon as it was headed back to Miami, where it docked on November 8th. Her body was found by a housekeeper under the bed in her stateroom, law enforcement sources told CBS News. According to family members, Kepner had told them the night before that she wasn't feeling well. See, again, they're not giving you a time about the night before. That's why we don't know exactly. She just said she wasn't feeling good the night before. Now, that gives you a good indication of how long she was gone. I don't feel good, guys. I'm going to my room that night. That could be 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. The next morning, she didn't show up for breakfast, and they began to search. CBS reported Tuesday that an unrelated court filing suggested charges may be coming against Kepner's step sibling, not siblings. That disclosure appeared in a motion made by Kepner's stepmother, Chantel Hudson, to reschedule a divorce hearing due to that matter. An extremely sensitive and severe circumstance has arisen wherein the respondent, the mother, will not be able to testify because of that. All right. CBS reached out to Hudson and the attorneys. Investigators are now reviewing. Again, we talked about surveillance video, analyzing swipe cards, electronics, etc. FBI took over it because it was on the open water. It's an international thing. Cooperating with the FBI, of course they are, etc., etc. I don't want to see those people filing their toes. All right, but I do want to talk about this a little bit. Step sibling investigated in Carnival Cruise, and some really interesting discussions with Brian Enton. He went over this, and I was listening to it today, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. I bet these people would like
and
to
that there's this document, which I'm going to see if he'll answer the phone in a second.
talk about. All right, so what's up? Oh my God, you guys, Walton is wild. I don't know if that's just some alternate person, but yeah, that was gross. I tried to get it off as quick as I could. All right, and Walton's funny. I think the step siblings are 18, 16, and 12. I've got I've got the charts in here of all of the kids, but they don't say the ages on my chart. I mean, she's literally got Chantel Kepner, which is the dad's current wife, and they've got Andrew, Tim, and Brooke. Then we got Tabitha Kepner, the dad's previous wife, and they got Connor and Kylie. And then we've got Anna's mom, Heather, Anna, Alex, and Cody. So there's a bunch of them, and they don't name all the ages, but probably between 12 and 16, I would imagine. We'll know as we find out. What's up, Dale? Dale, good to see you, my friend. Now, Dale just got the Guilty of Crime shirt won yesterday. All right. All right.
And explain to us, but there's this document that was filed by the lawyers of Anna's stepmom, asking for more time to respond to some recent filings related to a divorce. But this is where it gets interesting, citing an extremely sensitive and severe circumstance, basically saying that she has an 18-year-old son and 2 minor children, and that one of the younger kids faces a potential criminal prosecution. That's in this document. And that currently there is an investigation being conducted by the Federal Bureau of Investigations arising out of the sudden death of 18-year-old Anna Kepner. Again, this is all
who was tried as an adult thought criminal. Maybe I missed it. Again, it's up to the judge. Now, Florida is pretty progressive there. I think Florida, if anyone's going to charge this guy as an adult, being 16, I think they might charge him if they find evidence of a brutal death and maybe a sexual assault. There's a good possibility. I think it's going to depend on what happened, guys, or what he says happened, what evidence leads up to what happened. Don't you think? I mean, okay, yeah, this was Florida. Yes. So, yeah, Florida's real progressive, and I think it's going to depend on what happened or what he says or what the evidence shows, right?
From this document filed related to a divorce. It says the deceased is the daughter of the respondent's paramour, and the respondent and the minor children of this instant action were all on the cruise ship together. The respondent has been advised through discussions with the FBI investigators and her attorneys that a criminal case may be initiated against one of the minor children of this instant action. And Hudson's motion asks for issues around custody and access to 2 minor children she shares with her ex-husband be postponed until, again, this is important, the criminal investigation has been concluded. So it's a little confusing. Let me see if I can get Ben on the phone here real quick.
That's why I kind of wanted to listen to a little bit of this, because he's digging a little more while he's talking, and he's getting things that I didn't get from Fox News or from the CBS article or Wesh. I like it. I like it. We're just piecing this together right now. So I love these cases where we're piecing them together and I'm not tired.
He's gonna be mad at me. He specifically told me not to call him, but he kind of owes me. Let me see if he answers.
He owes me. Answer the phone, fool. Thank you, Doctor.
Hey, Ben, I have you on the podcast.
Hi,
how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So I was just saying that you broke all of these details. It's a little confusing, this document that you obtained that had this information that relates back to the death on the Carnival, and that there may be one of these minors involved. What is this? What is this document?
Okay, so it's a document that has come out of a divorce case.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to.
In Brevard County. It's a little bit complicated, so I'll explain. So Anna was living with her dad, Christopher Kepner, and Christopher's new partner, Chantel Hudson. Chantel had recently, last couple of years, divorced a man living over the other side of Florida. They had a divorce. It was finalized. But recently, this gentleman, Thomas Hudson, he had basically accused Chantel of not giving him proper access to their children.
Okay, this is helping fill in the pieces here, guys, because this is there's pieces everywhere. Once I get off of this stream, there's all these other pieces that keep coming, and I'm like, wait, what? I didn't realize that that's why they were even going to court, because Chantel wasn't giving the dad access to the children, which is also what Anna's dad was doing with her mom and her, right? That he's just like, oh, your mom's an addict, stay away from her, she's bad. Well, he didn't tell her, hey, I had an affair with our 15-year-old housekeeper or babysitter, and that was your mom before. Now, so right, it sounds like the parents are not the best. They're not doing the right thing for the children either.
Okay.
And she was due to answer to this and to give evidence in court or supply testimony.
She should provide the testimony now and say, oh my goodness, you can have Tim now. He's bad. He's a bad guy. Go ahead and take him. You could have custody.
To answer these charges about why she allegedly wasn't giving the father of her children full access as stipulated by the divorce. But today she filed something in that case saying she couldn't do so because of something catastrophic. I think the words are extremely sensitive and severe had happened recently that meant she wasn't in a position to.
So that, I mean, that goes to show you guys that Tim, more than likely her son, the stepbrother of Anna, did in fact do something. And then when they discovered her, he, like it said earlier, he went and told his mom what happened and that he slept in there, etc. She knows, obviously, and she wants people to shut up until after the life celebration of life. Did the babysitter become her mom? She sure did. Look at this. There's the mom. There's the babysitter. You see the prettiest one on there? Sorry, but the blonde with the blue eyes, Tabitha Kepner, married to Chris from 2011 to 2023. That was her babysitter at 15 years old when Chris was married to Heather Wright. Tabitha Kepner was their 15-year-old babysitter, allegedly. He married her for what, 11, 12 years, then divorced her. Right after he divorced her, 2023, he married Chantel, 2024, and that's what brought Tim into the family. All right, Sava, what's up? Good to see you. Good to see you all. Yeah, this is dysfunctional. You got to have a freaking chart to describe it. And yeah, Brian Etten should have an RV, right? We have an RV. That's what I want to do, is travel around and present true crime to y'all. Mhm. I know. Hold on. Sorry, I gotta put that back up. My bad. I got distracted by chat.
The Carnival cruise, Anna Kepner, and she revealed that the minor children that are the subject of her divorce and custody and access issues,
The Brady
one of
Bunch.
those minor children could face a criminal case. That's the word they use in the filing, a criminal case in relation to the FBI's investigation into Anna's death. So essentially, what I'm trying to get at here is she had to go to family court, something to do with lingering issues from her divorce. And she has basically said to the judge, to the court, I can't deal with this now. Can you postpone these issues? Because I'm dealing with this severe issue, and that one of my minor children, one of the children involved in this proceedings, may be subject to a criminal inquiry. And she goes on to say that, for example, they don't want to say anything that could influence that inquiry or incriminate them in any ensuing criminal prosecution.
So
Does that make sense? I
yeah.
know it's complicated.
Yeah, so she's trying to delay having to respond to this issue with the divorce by saying, look, we've got this other stuff going on.
And guys, she may get a charge too, depending on what she did to help him to move forward. You got to remember, they were already allegedly interviewed by the shitty staff on the Carnival cruise, and maybe by the FBI. The FBI came on and allegedly interviewed everybody in the entire family. How in the hell did that kid Tim get through doing an interrogation or an interview with law enforcement and not say anything? All right. I'm not even part of this family and I need a sanitation bath and a divorce. What's up, C. Michael? Good to see you. There is a male potato. I agree. Yes, Mab. That's what they are saying. They're saying that Timothy confessed to his mother after they found Anna Kepner's body. He told his mom what happened. They hushed up, did their interviews, got off the boat, went home. Then the uncle came out with a post on X, and the post on X told us what Timothy did to Anna and that the family knew. And if they don't shut their mouths, then they won't be invited to her funeral. And now we're on today. All right. That's where we left off.
That's
Exactly.
quite serious.
Exactly. So she's due to answer. He had filed this some time ago. I can see in 2024, he had actually applied for a contempt order alleging that she wasn't giving him full access to the kids or allowing him to have his allotted time.
Okay.
And a year later, she was set to, there's a hearing in December. So she would have had to appear and give testimony. And she said to the judge, can I be excused? Can we push it back? Because I'm dealing with an FBI investigation involving one of these kids.
Interesting. Yeah, an interesting way to sort of get information on what
Yeah.
happened on the ship. All right, Ben, I'll let you go. Thank you for explaining it.
No worries. I hope I made it clear. 'Cause
You did.
It is convoluted.
It is confusing, but appreciate it.
Cheers.
It is confusing, guys, and I hope you guys are understanding it today because Tiff helped me do a lot of this research and the back end stuff that I don't normally do, like all the little weird family dynamics of each person, and then the chart, the visual chart. I said, let's just put a chart together because I can't even get it straight. I'm a visual person. I cannot get it straight in my head when I'm just yelling out a bunch of names at y'all. All right. Connor, Kylie, Christopher, Chantel, Tabitha, Barbara, Jeff, la 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 la. I don't get it.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
So it's just interesting that there has been almost no information for a week and a half on this case. The FBI has said absolutely nothing. Carnival Cruise Lines put out a very basic statement, but it is now through this divorce filing.
Yeah, that is what brought this out, is the divorce filing. That's what brought Plunder to the platform last night to talk about it. And then I started seeing the reports from the FBI now. Wolfie, I don't think the parents are doing or not doing, but what the parents should have done was turn them in right away. The mom should have said, et cetera, right? What would I do? I don't know, but that's what the mom should do. I don't think she could either way determine on if he was going to attack his sister or not. But I don't know. She should have done the right thing, and she may get a charge from that. If dad comes out and says he was medicated that AM, I'm gonna cringe. A lot more is gonna come out. You're probably gonna cringe.
That we're getting really this explosive update on what's going on behind the scenes, and that there is this FBI investigation perhaps involving one of these minors. I spoke earlier with Steve Moore, former FBI agent, buddy of mine, about what he makes of this whole situation. Take a look.
First of all, Steve, what do you make of this information coming out that this young woman was found? Sounds like wrapped in blankets.
Now, listen, guys, before we continue this discussion, we got about 10 more minutes. Thank you guys for being here, hanging here, hit that like button, subscribe, all the stuff. That's a great comment there, guys. If y'all are in Florida and you happen to want to go to her celebration of life, it's open for the public. Let me know if there's tension. I'm sure we're going to hear about it. All right. And Cynthia, I'm not sure that they actually did share a room. Rumor has it that they were not technically sharing a room. And just because he slept in there that night, after he took her life, it doesn't mean that they had that room for them. I hear that they didn't, but we'll find out the dynamics altogether. What's up, Melissa? Email me. I wanted to talk to you. Good to see you, my friend.
Under the bed with life jackets covering her. Because initially, a lot of people thought maybe this was just like an accidental death.
I don't know.
But that certainly sounds suspicious.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine an accidental death where you find yourself wrapped in a blanket, stuffed behind life preserver. So yeah, this is apparently a homicide. And I think what's interesting to me about it is somebody who is absolutely sure that nobody could tie him to that person wouldn't have bothered.
Yes, according to another source before the episode, it was not correct and they were not sharing a room. But I didn't want to bring it out there yet. It did say that she had her own cabin and the boys had one as well. I can go back in my text messages. So rumor has it that they were not actually sharing one and she had her own, but we'll find out as this unfolds. I don't want to make that I don't want to solidify that until I know for sure. All right, that kid was not spanking his care with the stepsister on his mind. Or you say that kid was. Oh my goodness, East Coaster. Only an East Coaster would say that. Had the maid find her under a blanket and hidden life jackets. Well, she was under hidden life jackets and wrapped in a blanket or a sheet because the house cleaner was cleaning. And she probably pulled the stuff out from under the bed and well, she found a body.
Hiding the body. What's the point? What that tells me is that somebody hid the body hoping that the body wouldn't be found until they got off the boat, which was just the day after the next day.
Maybe.
Right. There's so many, I don't know if you've ever been on a cruise, but I mean, there's like surveillance cameras everywhere.
Yeah,
and if, two people went into
Listen, that's going to give us the most evidence. So everything y'all are asking now, we're going to find out, how did he get in the room? Did he have an extra key? Did the key get swiped? What time? Did they go in together? Did he leave for breakfast when her body was still in there? Now, Ali Oz, the grandparents didn't pay for this trip. The grandparents paid for another trip and took her on a cruise. And that's what introduced Anna to loving cruises and made her want to go. All right. So that's, they will find the kid's DNA. I hope they find the kid's DNA everywhere. Claudia says, I blame Jen Soto.
a room, it seems like it'd be pretty easy to figure out like who was there.
Yeah. Two people go in, one comes out, and you go in later and find the other one dead. It's a pretty slam dunk case. I don't know. I have been on cruise ships. I just don't know how extensive this ship's CCTV was. I would assume it seems to be a later model, which means to me that they would have had much more video coverage. And I would assume that they've got something down that hall.
What about these developments that came out of this custody filing and this like family court filing, where it says that one of the younger kids faced?
I'm actually glad that filing came out, you guys, because had that filing not came out and the mom not said, hey, I'm going to take the fifth because there's this other case that's being, that my son's being incriminated in, etc. That speaks 1,000 words. Her pleading the fifth to not say a thing speaks volumes, guys. All right. Just arrest Jen. Was Jen the maid that found her? Wake up, Jen, and send her to prison. You guys are so funny. Oh my God. I had a priest wink at me as a kid. That's something. Yeah, stay away from the priests, y'all.
Is a potential criminal prosecution. Currently, there is an investigation being conducted by the Federal Bureau of Investigations arising out of the sudden death of 18-year-old Anna Kepner. What does that mean? And why do you think if there's an investigation that's been ongoing, why haven't we seen any movement or an arrest?
Well, because...
And I like what this guy says. This hasn't been a long time. It's only been a little over a week.
Because, first of all, the news that the FBI is investigating this isn't really news at all. I'm sure you realize that the FBI is going to investigate this because of maritime rules. The fact that they're investigating it and the fact that they're talking to the families, heck, I would have interviewed each one of them extensively. That's not surprising.
Yeah, if they would have interviewed them all extensively, I wonder if the kid or the mom would have broke on this. I wonder if they even really interviewed them more than, did you see her the night before? Did you have dinner with her? How was she acting? Okay, bye.
What would be surprising to me is if the FBI told a member of the family that a specific individual was a suspect. Maybe things have changed. It's just not something I would have ever done.
Well, yeah, and it says here the respondent has been advised through discussions with FBI investigators and her attorneys that a criminal case may be initiated against one of the minor children of this instant action. So maybe they're not being specific against who, but saying that...
I think she knows which one, because she said one of the minor children doesn't mean that she doesn't know which one. The other thing is the fact that there's a criminal case open is, again, not surprising.
I thought it was going to be the older son, the taller one that I assume is older, but I guess not.
Somebody was murdered and the FBI has jurisdiction. They already have a case open on this. So it's a matter of what they do with this case. It is possible.
Me too.
I wouldn't call it probable, but when you are investigating a murder like this and you're talking to family members, you're certainly not going to say, oh, you're not, nobody's a suspect here, nothing like that. Don't worry. We're just trying to get information. You're going to be pretty candid that you're going to have to look at everybody. And the way I used to do it is say, listen, I have to look at the family. I have to look at the obvious people who knew her. And the quicker I can get through this, the quicker I can eliminate the family. But by saying that, I think they knew that they had not been eliminated at that point.
What do you think?
We're only going to do a little more of this discussion. I want to show you some of the TikTok videos and who I thought was the brother. Just so you can see how she moves, we can document it. I love how the document was found, shows what type of women we are dealing with. We had 220 people, 207, only 132 likes. Come on, guys. It's free to hit that like button. All right. T-Bird is lost. The bird is lost already? What? All right, let's finish this up, guys.
I think it's taking so long though. I mean, it's been weeks now.
It's not taking long, Brian.
Since, she was pulled off the boat, in a body bag. I mean, why wouldn't there be an arrest?
Well, first of all, what seems like a long time to you and me does not seem like a long time to the agent who is investigating the case.
Yeah,
first of all, I mean, just logistical things. The ship's going to leave within hours of arriving at the dock. So what the agent in charge is going to have to do is stuff an evidence response team on that ship. And they're going to sail with that ship.
Exactly,
they're not going to be able to get
Emily.
their stuff done in the time it takes to do this. So they'll be on that ship, and there won't be a powwow with them until they at least get to the next port and they fly home to Miami. So there are lots of logistical things. Their evidence isn't coming back until the ship makes port at the first place, because this is not something where we've got a serial killer on the loose and he may hit next week.
Oh, after this thought, we're gonna go to the next thing, but listen to this closely, guys, because this is the whole reason, in my opinion, that Stephen Stearns was arrested, prosecuted, and then did his deal and off 21 life sentences so fast, because he was the one that I'm sorry, when my computer does that. There he goes. All right, listen. When they talk about why they are taking the suspect out and how they think he's a threat, in my opinion, the reason they didn't arrest Jen Soto and they arrested Stefan and focused solely on him initially was because, in their opinion, he was the last person and the threat. And then they found the CSAM photos. Jen wasn't the threat. She's just going to take her pills and go to sleep somewhere so they could kick back, relax, investigate her, and take their time. What's up, Miracle Hearts? Now listen to this. Again, this is why I think they went full force on Stefan and didn't on Jen. But they're not done with her.
This is something that appears to be a case where you have a motive, possibly. I mean, you have an 18-year-old attractive female. That's a motive right there, unfortunately. So they're not looking at somebody who's going to kill again on the next thing, because number one, that ship, the person who killed her, unless it was a crewman, has left the ship. And you can't, by the way, eliminate that fact, possibility. So there's no rush. Certainly you want to give the family closure, but the one thing you don't want is to screw up the case for the family. So you have a lot riding on this. You only get one shot at it. And so it doesn't seem like the public is in immediate danger. So you're going to take your time.
Thank you.
Do you think, just thinking back to the stepbrother and the potential involvement there, is it possible that this young woman wasn't killed and that something else happened, overdose, some other reason, and then he freaked out and tried to hide the body? I mean, could that be what's taking so long? They're waiting to find out from the medical examiner. Because I would think if she had, was beaten or something, wouldn't that kind of be an immediate?
Yeah. Well, if she was, first of all,
I don't think they would make an immediate arrest like that just because they don't have enough evidence and they're taking their time. They know where he is, etc. All right. Mab won the Turtle Island, and I guess that's like winning the lotto, right? Anyway, they want to make sure the threat is secured, guys. And, we still got, 10, 15 more minutes discussing this. So I'm going to stop this one. I just kind of wanted to introduce you to that episode and what they're talking about, etc. That's suspect Timothy Hudson, 16 years old. And then I'm going to just show you TikTok real quick. This is not him. This is who I thought was him, but I just want to show you a little bit of Anna and how she moves, and then we can get this wrapped up. We will continue to follow this case. Thank you, Mama Sage. I appreciate that. If y'all can hit that like button. Sonia, please rewatch. We're almost done here. I'm going to show y'all her TikTok again. And I won't play the music, but as I was going through her TikTok, you can see I started scrolling in. This was the breakup, the last breakup TikTok. So people thought maybe she took her own life. And then I started scrolling down and seeing boys. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if that was him. I don't think that's him now. But you can see her doing her TikToks with possibly one of her brothers. But I don't think that's the stepbrother at all. We're looking at that. And it just doesn't look like him. And we asked somebody and they confirmed that it wasn't. Right. Okay, so I know there's no volume. Thank you, Lady for Justice. I was talking to Baby Guilty. Anyway, I wish I could play some of this, but I think it's just it's just music. So anyway, you can see how she moves. Beautiful young lady, gone too soon. Um, that is not that is, she says blondes do it better. I like that. She changed her hair quite a bit. Some of these she has black hair, and some of them they're blonde on the earlier on. And then she's doing some TikToks here with another kid, maybe her brother. Lady for Justice, we're almost at that goal. Thank you so much. I think she's probably self-recording, I'm gonna imagine, but she also has a ton of siblings, step siblings, etc. All of her videos have music, so right, left. Oh, sorry. She talked a little bit and then it went to music again. But isn't she? I mean, just a beautiful light. Gone too soon. She says, you deserve to be happy. But if you ain't with me, then never mind. Right. So again, they saw some of her posts and things. She has other platforms, and I guess they just assumed that. I wanted to hear her voice, but most of it is just music, y'all. Anyway, I mean, you can see how she moves. Kind of girl that liked to have fun, but she was also going to go to the military right after this. All right. The images screwed him, and Jen took the. Oh, you guys, yeah. See, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think it's just her TikTok, and a lot of people have these little propped up things that they put on there and they film. Again, it's all music, I think. So, but you can see she has a lot of TikTok videos here. She was a cheerleader, and she was going to do some big things, guys. All right, God cares, God loves, God helps, God heals, God hears. You know, the snaps will get you. Beautiful young lady. Again, I just love seeing how I love social media when you get the videos, especially after something happens, so you can see how they move. I don't think she was teasing him, but I think guys may see it that way. But that was his stepsister. All right. I was thinking about buying the toenail clippers from my monster-in-law. Oh my God, y'all. All right, guys, do me a favor. If you like the cases I present and how I present them, hit that like button. That's the family there. Those are the people you're going to continue to see and hear about in this case. And this is Anna Kepner. We want to find out what exactly happened and who did it. And we want justice for Anna Kepner and her family, right? So let's keep this going. I'll keep you guys updated. Lady for Justice, love you too. Lori says, love drunk people checking into the hotel. I know, so young, 18 years old. Mab, again, congratulations on winning Turtle Island. I hope that you can send me some pic. I'd love to see your belt once you get it. My email is down there. If you can email me, I'd like to be in touch with you. Anyway, there's my email, Mab, guilty of crime by J at gmail.com for us to keep in touch. But I also want to see your championship belt. Mab won Turtle Island last night. He took the whole island. All right. So he got the championship belt, and whatever he's going to do with his money, Christmas is coming and Thanksgiving. So congratulations, Mab. Lynn, love you. Love Vermont. All right. Thank you guys all. And I will be back tomorrow. I might put a poll up there for you guys to see what y'all want me to do. But I have been covering the Summer Wells case. And guys, there are some updates in the Summer Wells case. So hopefully you guys want to hear that from Jay at Guilty of Crime. I also have two more new cases in the House of Horrors. One where 4 people starved a teenager almost to death, a teenager that weighed 35 pounds ultimately. And then other ones where 3 children were left in the house with pee and poop and food and yuckiness. Second house in Pontiac, Michigan this year. That's a House of Horrors. So I got those cases on my radar, Summer Wells and 2 new House of Horror cases. I'll put up a poll and see what you guys want to see for the rest of the week. Otherwise, Tara, thanks. Have a good night. Lori Minor, everybody else, I love you. And I'll probably do the Summer Wells tomorrow when everyone else is not covering it, all right? Love you guys. See you soon. And make sure you get your green membership because we're going to continue giving stuff away this month. Love you. Love you, Mom. Mwah. Good night, Husky Lover, Allie, and everybody else. Thank you for being here. Have a good one.
Guilty of Crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of Crime.
Are you guilty?